I'm Anya of Yoga Embodied. I recently posted a question in my newsletter and on my Facebook page, and I was curious to see what you have of questions around your menstrual cycle, your lunar cycle, and any issues that are kind of coming up around that. And I actually got quite a few questions back, and you're welcome to post more questions to me, and you can put them in the comment box, you can send them in a private email, and a lot of you use the private email, and the interesting thing is it's the same question that comes up, and not so much specifically around the cycle, but it is about our reproductive system. And this is about a very, very common issue. And if you look up, we have our friend Google. If you look on Google, a lot of other women will have this issue. And it's about dryness and irritation around the vulva and the vagina. And obviously this is really uncomfortable. The skin is so sensitive and we move it, and if we have irritation here, it's uncomfortable all the time, and certainly when we have sex, it's not nice. So this is something I want to share a few things that perhaps we can look at to help it. Vaginal dryness can happen at any time in our life. The most common time, or maybe the most common time we talk about it, is during our menopause or perimenopausal time of our lives. And this is when the hormones are changing, so the estrogen levels decrease, and this is part of the hormone that would otherwise keep us moist and juicy. So for women during that time in our lives, this is what can happen. Other reasons may be different kind of medication, and this actually includes HRT, hormone replacement therapy, and the contraceptive pills. And they may contain estrogen, but it's not our own body producing it. So we get into a strange imbalance. But other medication actually can be very drying, especially in those sensitive areas. And we have to remember that the skin and the mucous membranes around the vagina and the vulva, it's so close to we can see it's red like our lips. The skin is so sensitive, and it's right near our blood supply. So other things can be stress, it can be irritation from a new laundry product, for example. In Ayurveda, we think of this dryness again can happen on different levels. Certainly menopause would be one of them, because as we grow older, the natural cycle will be that vata increases. Vata dosha is air and space, or wind and space, and that has drying qualities. It has thinning, kind of decreasing qualities. So this will be almost like a normal symptom. Our skin gets thinner and drier as we get older, and this will be kind of a natural part of our cycle. That's not to say that we cannot support a lifestyle that creates more moisture and juiciness in our life, and that's what we will try to do. Vata also increases if we are stressed, if we are anxious, if we have a very erratic lifestyle, if we travel a lot, and this includes being on transport, just the daily commute. For a lot of us, our routine is not very regular. Basically, we don't have a routine, and routine is something Vata loves. So for a lot of us, we have high Vata. And again, whatever your age, this might increase dryness and irritation. It can also be because you have too much heat, so pitta, and we often think of the hormonal system as being part also of pitta, or the pitta is a fire, and we need fire in our lives too. But again, modern society, that pitta type A personality is often seen as a strength, and it's encouraged. So it might be imbalanced. We might have too much pitta. Fire dries out because of the heat. It can thin things out. It can purify on a little bit too much in this area. Heat can be irritation and inflammation, and it's dehydrating. So these are kind of the main things that we would look at in Ayurveda: decreasing pitta and decreasing vata. So we will try to cool down, calm down. And this might also apply for the menopause, when we might have hot flushes as well. So this can be this hormonal pitta that creates this hot flush. So what can we do? Aside from looking at a vata decreasing diet and lifestyle, and potentially a pitta decreasing lifestyle and diet, we want to add moisture, nurturing, juiciness into our life. How can we do that? Do things that feels nice, that gives us a spark of creativity, sensuality. So we need to give ourselves space to move and feel fluid. In our body, we can practice our yoga practice. There's certainly poses that can help to bring the blood circulation towards the pelvis and to our reproductive organs. So any poses that you feel have a connection towards the pelvis, that increases the blood circulation so we can get nutrients towards the pelvis, towards the vagina, towards the vulva. Obviously a very specific practice would be working with the pelvic floor. It would be working with the yoni egg, things like that, that actually exercises and creates the stimulation and the blood supply. In Ayurveda, we do have herbs as well that may support this. There is a herb called Shatavari, which is sometimes translated as the woman who has, I think, 1,000 husbands or 100, I'm not sure now. So it kind of says a little bit about this herb. It's a very nurturing herb, very nourishing. It builds up, it's a building herb. And it's often used for the female reproductive system and for any hormonal issues. Again, you need to check with a practitioner before you take any herbal remedies. But this is one that's often recommended to support our hormonal balance. You could take this with something like aloe vera juice. If you get aloe vera juice, please make sure it's a proper aloe vera juice. It's actually the juice, and sometimes there's a little bits of the juice in as well. Aloe vera juice is a bit unctuous. It's not an oil, but it is a little bit unctuous. It's not just water, it has something else in it. And if we look at the aloe vera gel, we can almost imagine that moisture and juiciness. Aloe vera, again, one that's used so often in Ayurveda for any female reproductive issues. So it certainly increases that juice, and maybe even increases ojas, which is the peak of our immunity, our kind of end product of our health and vibrancy, vitality. So taking aloe vera juice is another thing that for most of us might help as well. Taking the two together is perfect. There are other herbs that you can use in your cooking, in your teas, or make like a milky drink out of. Rose is another herb which is quite cooling. It helps the digestive system as well. It has an affinity with pitta if you have the heat in the body, and it obviously have that beauty and scent that's sensuous, and we almost feel the ojas of this immunity flow out as soon as we smell it. You can add that to your tea or make a milky drink with rose petals. Another herb like saffron is another one that's used. So having a drink with those two together is a wonderful way to increase that affinity to our reproductive organs and create moisture and just that sense of, I say the word juiciness again because that's kind of what we want, and this is what it increases as well. This is obviously a long-term thing. You need to take these things for a while to actually get that effect to support more externally, we talked about aloe vera juice, and you can get a lot of lubricants that are actually based on aloe vera. You can get organic lubricants, so you can get something that's actually natural. So I can put some links in the blog post around this, but certainly using something that's natural and aloe vera juice internally and applying externally is moisture, it's cooling, it's soothing. So this would be a perfect thing to use, but use one that is specifically for use of intimate areas. So I think that's it for now, but I'd love for you to share your comments, what worked for you, what doesn't work for you, and again, if you have any other questions, please let me know. So my name is Anya, and I'm from Yoga Embodied, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for watching.